Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, Guys, You May Not Realize It Now, but Here's Why You'll Live to Regret Letting an Amazing Woman Go. And guys, as you can imagine, this article is written by a woman, and it's my guess, I don't know officially, but it's my guess this woman was probably had a guy break up with her recently, and then she wrote this article with all these reasons why, how men will regret letting an amazing woman go out of their lives, whether they broke up with her out of the blue for somebody else, cheated on her, whatever. And guys, as you probably are aware of, this is quite common. It's quite common to have stories, or in many cases songs, written from women's perspective about how this bad guy let her go and how he's going to regret it, and there'll be no other woman like her, and pretty much his life will be doom and gloom because he let her go. And this is all complete nonsense because for a lot of reasons. One being that, guess what? There's 8 billion people on the planet and half of them are women. So you could probably spend hundreds of lifetimes meeting women that actually have their shit together, that are good looking, fun to be around, cool, good attitude, have some traditional values that we like, but is rare in this day and age. You could plenty of options. But, it's made out to be that there's only one and then you let her go and that's it, your life's over. No. And again, this is for guys that do relationships, of course. And what's funny is you never ever see articles or songs from the guy's perspective saying, she made the mistake. Because guess what? We're a prize too. Guys are a catch too. There's plenty of great guys out there. But how often are great guys cast aside for complete pieces of shit? Let's be honest here. I mean, everybody watching this is probably at least once in their life had some girl dump them for some guy that was a lowlife, in one form or another. So, but we don't hear any songs or articles, telling women, hey, pretty much you're going to have a doom and gloom life because you let us go, right? But there's no shortage of articles or songs from the woman's perspective. So I'm going to go through this guy. She's going to list all her reasons. A lot of them are very overreactions and ridiculous. And I'm going to point at things out here, calling the bullshit along the way. So it starts off saying, when you start dating a wonderful woman, it's easy to get complacent. You get so accustomed to the way she treats you that you might start taking advantage of it. And soon, you might even leave her for the prospect of something better. It might seem like a good choice at first, but this is why you'll soon learn that you really, really messed up by letting her go. The prospect of something better, she says. How many times have guys been kicked to the curb because their girlfriend or woman they're dating was looking for something better, right? Come on here, okay? Yeah, a lot of women obviously settle when they realize that, hey, their market value's gone down, the clock is ticking, they're not as desirable as they once were when they were younger, but a lot of them, believe me, if they can get something better when they're still on the market, they're going to do it every time. Number one, these are 10 reasons. Number one, she'll give you everything she has. It's rare to find a partner who pours everything into a relationship, and you'll realize just how rare it is when you let her go. You'll have casual relationships with other women, but when they don't put forth the effort to keep you that she did, you'll find yourself longing for the good morning text, the little just thinking about you gifts, and the honesty that she gave you until you started taking her for granted. Okay, this she'll give you everything she has. This is on the basis that she sees you as a guy of value, as a prize. If she just settled for you, you're not going to get everything she has. It's not going to work that way, okay? It just doesn't, okay? I'm sure all you guys watching at some point have been in some relationship where you definitely got the vibe that she just settled, whether it's a short-term thing or a long-term thing. And believe me, you did not get all she had, okay? She may have given a lot in the beginning, but you're not getting all she has. That only goes to the guys that they perceive truly as a prize, and they want to get them and keep them. Number two, yes, you'll miss being called out on your crap. Well, that's a bunch of crap. It's easy to stay silent to keep the peace, but a truly amazing woman would rather solve problems head on, even if it makes things temporarily uncomfortable. She has standards and knows how to stick up for herself. And even though it might have gotten on your nerves while you were together, it's going to bother you a lot more when your bad qualities go unchecked. So according to her, that guys are going to miss out and miss the woman busting your chops and giving you a hard time and nagging you and being a pain in the butt and things like that. guess what? No way, because that's what usually turns the guys off. That's what usually pushes guys away, because they grew up with that. That was called their moms. Their moms calling them on their crap and being a pain in the ass and nagging them and all that shit, okay? No, that's why guys leave their houses, and they don't want to deal with that. But eventually, a lot of guys end up marrying women like their mothers anyway. But no, we're not going to miss that. That's usually why guys get out. Next one, number 4, because they skipped number 3, because 3 is an advertisement. Number 4, you'll also realize how much she let you get away with. Again, this sounds like your mom. What she would let you get away with? You probably thought that she was naggy, but really, this girl knew how to pick her battles. She valued her own happiness, of course, but she also valued yours. And that meant that she accepted your flaws along with all the things she liked about you. It won't be until you date girls who try to change you that you'll see how much of your crap she took with a smile on her face. Let's just say she took a bunch of your crap. Again, that's probably because in her mind, she saw you as a prize, as an alpha, and so she's going to let some of that go, where a guy that she settled with and didn't, he was okay, he was someone to settle with. She's going to give him more crap because, she can, and plus, honestly, she doesn't see him as a prize. A woman that sees a guy as a prize, there's going to be less. The nagging and the calling on BS and things like that, that will come eventually, but in the beginning, when she's still trying to rope him in, there's going to be less of that. But again, no guy wants to be nagged at and complain, just like the other one I just said, okay? Bullshit. Next one. Number 5. You'll miss her presence more than you miss casual sex. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe you let her go because the prospect of hooking up with whomever you wanted was more appealing than the prospect of committing to one person. But once the excitement of reactivating your online dating accounts wears off, you're going to realize that there's no one-night stand out there that can compare to the way that she made you feel. The comfort you once thought was boring will be something you crave, and no matter how many new people wake up in your bed, none of them will ever fill the space she left. Yeah, come on here, okay? And let's just say the guy gets bored with the one, well, then guess what? There's other options out there, okay? Now, there are guys out there that are relationship guys. They like relationships. They're serial monogamous. So that there could be some truth to this, to some guys like that. But by and large, believe me, most guys out there, if they had the ability to attract the kind of women they want, believe me, a vast majority would just probably either have casual relationships the rest of their lives. Believe me, okay? And especially guys that had been in bad marriages for a long time and finally were escaped from marriage prison. You think they're going to go back to something kind of like that before? No way. Not a chance. Some do, yes, because a lot of guys don't learn the first time around. They got to keep going through that. But a lot of guys, especially now, given how things are, 2020, Next one, number 6. No one will look at you the way she did. Bullshit. Plenty of options out there. Plenty of women out there to attract. That's nonsense. Remember the way you catch her staring at you like you were a masterpiece in a museum. She thought you were the greatest thing she ever had seen. And when she looked at you with the adoration in her eyes, she wasn't just admiring your physical features, she was admiring all of you. She saw all the good and bad qualities mixed together and still thought you were a beautiful human being. You'll find plenty of women who will look at you, but none of them will ever see you the way she did. Again, that's nonsense because there's plenty of women out there, okay? Like I said, you can go through 100 lifetimes and you still wouldn't scratch the surface, the amount of women, again, if you do relationships, that you find attractive, that are cool, that are fun to be around, that are easygoing, fun in the sack, good attitude, traditional values that you would appreciate. Plenty of them, okay? And the plenty that would see you that way. But remember, the whole looking at you the way she did with the adoration that she's talking about, generally speaking, guys, that always happens in the beginning, in the honeymoon period. But after a while, that's going to go away. So if that's something that you enjoy, that phase, it's best to just be, if you don't even want to be a guy that casually hooks up with women all the time, you're more to be a serial monogamist, so to speak. You don't live with them. You sure as hell don't marry them. And once the magic wears off, so to speak, then you move on. Because all sorts of guys follow me here. I do articles and videos that appeal to all you guys. But the whole thing that no one else in the whole world, that's it for life, come on here. Next one, number 7. The things that annoyed you will be the things you long for. What a load of crap. When you start to miss her, you might find a silver lining in the fact that you no longer have to deal with all her obnoxious quirks. The way she threw her dirty clothes on a chair instead of a hamper. The way she refused to leave the house without doing her eyebrows. The way she talked in her sleep. You thought it would be a relief to get rid of it all. But the truth is that you'll miss those things more than you miss the things that initially attracted you to her. The only way that's going to happen is if the guy, they break up, the guy ends up with her, and then he has no luck. Okay, let's just say he wants to do casual hookups, but let's just say he's not exactly James Bond. And speaking of James Bond, apparently James Bond, the next movie is going to be a girl being 007. That's a topic for another day, but that's insane. I just had to mention that. But let's just say this guy is in James Bond and he has a hard time attracting women. Then he may start missing a lot of things about her, including the annoying crap. But if this guy has shit together and has some game and can attract women, believe me, he's not going to be longing for her and missing all the annoying crap that she used to do, whether intentionally or unintentionally. No. Again, it's a lot of those things that compound after a while, and that's why he walks away, because he's tired of that, and plus the other crap that I mentioned earlier. Number 8, you realize that she really did try. Any other woman would have given up on you multiple times throughout your relationship, but not this one. Every time things went wrong, she put forth the effort to try to see how she could fix it all. She sacrificed so much, even when she felt like it might not be worth it. And you'll realize just how much she went through when the other girls you date give up as soon as things get hard. There's a lot of truth to that. And again, let me just make this clear. There are unicorns out there, women that really do have a lot of great things going on. Okay? But again, there's a reason the guy left in the first place. Okay, it just simply wasn't working. But again, plenty of options out there, okay? And it's really great that say she was actually a good person and she tried, okay, but still, it obviously wasn't working for some reason, and there's options out there. Number 9, you'll think she was an average girl, then learn you were dead wrong. She never thought twice about all the things she did for you, and frankly, neither did you. You got so used to her treating you like gold that you began to think that she was the norm. When you let her go, you probably thought it would be easy to find someone who would treat you like she did. But you'll soon discover that you had something rare when you had her. Letting her go was like throwing away a precious gem that you thought was a penny. Again, we're overdoing it a bit here. And again, this is all on the basis that she sees you as a prize, that she sees you as a major catch. You're going to get the best behavior, but if he was just settling for you, you're not going to get all this. Come on here. Unless it's to lead to something that she wants, like let's just say she was in her 30s and she spent her 20s riding the carousel, focusing on career, and realizes, oh shit, I want to settle, I want to have a family, I want to have kids. Well, I better settle for this guy here, and he'll get some good things, but that's to lead to the ring and the ceremony, and the house, and the kids, what she initially wants anyway, okay? And watch everything go downhill from there, okay? Not every time, but most of the time. Number 10, you'll bury the parts of yourself that she brought out. A truly great woman will bring out the best in her partner, and she was no exception. When you're with her, you were the best version of yourself, and now that she's gone, that part of you will be left right back where it was before she came along. You won't just end up missing her, you'll end up missing the person you were when she was with you. That's nonsense. And by the way, when she talks about how she brought out this great person in you and blah, 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 obviously she thought you were something to begin with before those qualities were coming out. So obviously this, who she's talking about here, and a guy like in this scenario, obviously had enough going on to begin with for her to be attracted to him and put him on a pedestal and treat him like the king and do all these things. So he was pretty great beforehand, okay? So come on here. Number 11 and the last one. By the time you realize that you've lost, she'll be long gone. Again, 8 billion people on the planet, and half of them are women. So yes, she's gone, but obviously there was a reason for that. And come on here, it's not the end of the world. There's plenty of options out there. She says, you won't be blind to your mistake forever. Eventually you'll realize that you messed up. You might try to get her back, and there was a time when she would have welcomed you back into her life with open arms. But by the time you see the error of your ways, she will already moved on. She won't think about you anymore, and whether she's with someone else or thriving on her own, she'll have learned that you leaving her was a blessing in disguise. You, on the other hand, will forever have to live with the fact that you let go one of the best things that ever could have happened to you. Yeah, I think the gal that wrote this article definitely was dumped or something. There's no way that she just happened to write this article. But there you go, guys. That is an example of things I'm sure you've heard many times in songs and articles written. Maybe sometimes girls venting in movies or shows about that. But again, how many times you hear a guy saying, about all women that do that? Because women let go guys even more women let go good guys than the other way around here. I mean, come on here. So, but that was a funny thing to read. But again, guys, there's 8 billion people on the planet. Like I said a million times here, half of them are women. You got plenty of options. So even if you truly had a great one and you blew it, and that's it, she's done with you, fine, you move on. There's plenty of other options out there. Again, this is for you guys to do relationships and all that. So just keep that in mind. But here's the thing, guys. Guess what? We're a prize too. We got a lot going on for ourselves. Unfortunately, young guys are conditioned at an early age to always see women as the prize and on the pedestal, and that's why so many guys behave that way. But how often are many guys encouraged that, hey, we're a prize too. We're a catch too. They should be happy to have us. So, but that's what I'm trying to encourage in this channel and to help guys get their shit together and become the best versions of themselves, not just for women, but also for themselves in all aspects of their lives so they can have the best life they possibly can make for themselves. And of course, by self-improvement and making yourself into the best version of yourself, if you are interested in dating and hooking up and relationships and all that, and that's your choice, that will only help you big time in that department. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. That was a good thing to share. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.